367 Collective, we're here to dominate.
Conversations with Broker Brad. Thank you for watching, and we are back here again. Today, I have a new person, a new guest. I have that every week, but a different person here today. I'd like to introduce you all to Hunter Brady. So, Hunter Brady, come on down. Don't forget your headphones, Hunter.
Yes.
So, Hunter, I've got to tell you, I have never heard such a raucous applause before as you've came in here. So, be impressed by that. We again have our studio audience. Well, grateful for everybody who's watching and here with us today. So, welcome, Hunter Brady. Hunter, all right. So, just to kind of kick things right off, I got to know you. We got to know you, Rachel and I got to know you through your mom and dad, specifically more your dad, Scott.
Yep.
Scott is a character. I mean, is that the best way to?
I would say so. I mean,
I don't know how to describe your dad.
I think that's probably the best way to describe him. I mean, he's definitely one to be the center of attention for sure. He's a funny guy.
Has he gone like full Chicano as he's out in California? I see him with the Dodger stuff. Does he wear high socks and long and the stereotypical stuff? Has he done that yet?
Not necessarily that, but he's always kind of been that way. He grew up out there in West Covina, so
totally. So he's right.
Yeah, he's a California guy through and through. That's for sure.
Oh man, Scott is such a good guy. So it was cool to get to know Scott, and then obviously to get to know you through him. Mm-hmm. So I always go through. And I've been watching these videos, and you pick up on like little ticks and things that you do, like little things that you say. Yeah. So my thing is, I always say, "Okay, so." I don't know why, but I always do that. So then that's my transition. So happens to be my favorite word, I guess. You got your license to be a realtor when-ish?
About 2 years ago in November of 2022.
22, okay. Yeah. November 22, so this will be 2 years, November 2024. So it's been a little bit of a whirlwind for you because, and we'll talk a little bit more about this later, of your mom and dad, that they own a store here in Lincoln, mm-hmm. that you, at the time that you had gotten licensed, Scott, your dad, was also licensed. Yep. And so you guys, there was, I think a little bit maybe more of an expectation of doing some things together at a certain point, but then that kind of changed when they moved out to California. So again, we'll talk a little bit about that. But I guess I don't know, in general, what's been any impressions of real estate that you've had that you wanted to, like, that you would say, oh, I didn't think it would be like this, or I've been really surprised to see this, or anything like that?
I think, I kind of grew up and my parents were always like big fans of house hunters.
Oh, really?
Okay. You kind of get your perception of what a realtor is based off that show.
Which one is House Hunters?
It's the one where they have random realtors from across the country, and it's just going through the home buying process with their buyers. Okay. They show them 3 different houses, and they pick
it's
from
the
those
3 houses one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's, I say my favorite facetiously because I'm like, it's never that way.
No.
Never that way. We never, ever go to somebody and we're like, hey, all right, here you go. Here's 3 houses. Which one do you want to buy?
Yeah, and it's always like a fixer-upper, and then it's the perfect match, and then it's one that's like way out of their price range.
Right.
And I just always thought, oh, that's how that works. And then you get into the space and you're like, no, you actually see, sometimes 30 to 50 houses. It goes on for a year or two before they even pick a house.
It's the funniest thing, I guess. Maybe I'm unique in this regard. I don't think I am, but I can't imagine the anger and like resentment that my clients would feel for me if I showed them a house that I knew was out of their budget.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's okay. So that does highlight one interesting thing in real estate is that as we work with people and we're like, okay, so how much are you wanting to spend? How much are you willing to spend? What are you pre-approved for? Stuff like that. Sometimes people tell us what they want to tell us. Because I've had it plenty of times where we've been looking in a certain price range and we're just not really finding anything. And so they get kind of frustrated. And so then they'll say, you know what, Brad, why don't we look like $50,000 higher? And I'm like, can you do that? you guys tell me, I work for you, so whatever you think, but can you even do that? So it's always something that I feel like that in general, if somebody tells me this is my range, I mean, maybe plus or minus $10,000, like I stick to that range.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like you kind of get in some trouble. So okay, so yeah, right. So it's always the house hunter. So that was kind of your impression.
Yeah, that was my impression at first for sure. That definitely changed very quickly.
Yeah,
When
right.
I had my first buying client.
Right.
Luckily, that transaction was pretty easy and smooth. But,
Uh-huh.
through like our meetings too, like our broker meetings with you and Rachel, definitely opened my eyes to house hunters is
Different
not the
things.
reality.
Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, and I mean that's honestly, and I'd be curious even to talk to Scott sometimes about this too. But in California and in larger markets like that, that's like one of the problems right now with real estate is the misconception of realtors in some of these larger markets. Because you and I in Lincoln, Nebraska, we have 300,000 people here. And so it's like we don't have the population base and things for the variety of homes and different things that they have. But you see on some of these newer shows of like I think Selling Sunset is one, right? Where it's like commonly they will go spend 50 grand on a open house.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, I don't know what to tell people, but we don't do that.
No.
I mean, for 50 grand, I mean, we're feeling pretty good if we get $3,000 or $4,000 on our side of the commission because we pay out everybody else and sort of a thing. So it's like, I mean, if you're lucky, we'll be able to spend $100, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a weird thing, but
Yeah, they're just in a different league in those Selling Sunset, and especially in the California market. I mean, the average home of a California house is about $1 million. So,
right, yeah, totally.
and that's like for 1,500 square feet. And
Right.
you got these people on Selling Sunset selling mansions in Beverly Hills.
Right.
You can afford to spend 10 grand on an open house when you're
Now
selling that.
you visited them somewhat frequently or just a couple of times.
Yep, I go out there about once every couple months or so. to go
Because I
visit.
guess people that are from California that are watching were probably kind of angry. So we can't generalize California as just one thing because there's a variety of different things in different places. So where in California do you go to visit them or do they live?
They live in Marietta, California. So
Marietta,
that's about halfway between San Diego and LA. So,
Oh, really? Okay, gotcha. So is it close to Anaheim?
kind of, yes. It's
Ish.
about 45 minutes to an hour to Anaheim.
North? Or
Yep,
south?
yep, north.
North of Anaheim. Okay, gotcha. So when you have you gone out there in like what time of year have you gone out there? Like winter, summer?
I've been out there just about every time of year.
Have you? Okay.
I went out there in the fall. That's my latest visit was around like Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah. So do you when you go out there, do you usually drive or do you fly?
Fly.
You fly. Okay.
yeah.
Is there a particular flight that you try to kind of get that you
I just
like
try
an
to stay away
airline?
from Denver when it gets to
my
like the winter
gosh.
months.
Dude,
'cause-
you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
I hate that place.
No.
In terms of the airport,
Yes.
Denver's a city is fine, but their airport, I hate it.
I can't stand it. I'd much rather fly into like Vegas or
Right.
Phoenix on my way there.
I mean, it's like you hear about these different stores and companies that they will like pump certain things into the air for like positivity and wanting people to buy, and I'm like, that's what they need to do at Denver because I swear they're doing the opposite.
Yeah.
They're pumping something to the air that makes you depressed, and by way of maybe air delays or something. It's like every time you fly through Denver, without fail, it's usually like a 3+ hour layover every freaking time.
Every time.
And then there's a delay on top of that usually. So I hate that place. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So anyway, so I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Do you usually try to go on a certain airline?
Just the cheapest,
just whatevs?
really.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, mostly Southwest.
Well, freaking like Frontier used to be the kind of the cheapest.
Oh my gosh.
And they still profess to be, but they're not.
And they barely are. And
It's
the
stupid.
experience you get on Frontier flight, oh my gosh,
It's terrible, isn't it? I think it's the funniest thing. Here recently, as I was flying to, I forget where I was going, but I think it was maybe because of turbulence or some other random excuse. They were like, we're not going to be doing a beverage service today. However, we will be going through the aisles with water. And I'm like, that sounds like a beverage. What's the difference between that and serving me Coke or something? What the heck? So, but yeah, airlines do stuff like that. That it's just like, man, the experience is terrible. It's not a great experience in the first place as you're flying to such a high altitude and whatever else. It's just not comfortable. But then when they do stuff like that, though, it just makes it 10 times worse.
Yeah, especially those budget airlines like Frontier. They claim to be cheap, and then you
Yeah.
gotta pay $50 for a carry-on, and they charge you
Now,
all
have
these
you ever
extras.
flied on Spirit Airlines?
I've not. That's one I have not been on yet.
Like people commonly make fun of it, right?
Oh yeah, that's
And
like the
I've
butt of
never
every
flown
airline
on
joke.
Spirit. I don't even know. Do they fly out of Omaha? I don't even know.
I think they do.
Do
I
they
think
have
do.
some flights out of Omaha? Yeah. So, anyways, random thing, but yeah. So okay. So your mom and dad started a business called Hemp Boss.
Yep. So we originally started in 2019 in
Okay.
Raleigh, North Carolina, when they were living out there for a good period of time.
Did you live out there in North Carolina?
No, I was in college at South Dakota State at the time.
Oh,
so I
gotcha.
stayed in South Dakota.
Jackrabbits?
when they lived out there. Yep, Jackrabbits.
I get the variety of South Dakota universities confused because there's like South Dakota U, which is Coyotes.
Yeah, there's USD, the University of South Dakota, which is the Coyotes.
Yeah,
And
and then
then-
Jackrabbits is state. And
Mhm.
then there's a couple more too, I feel like.
Yep, there's South Dakota School of Mines, which is more of an engineering school out
Yeah.
west. And then that's really the big three out there.
I think
that people go to.
that mines one is one that my friend, who's a accounting professor, just got a job there at the School of Mines because that's in like Sioux City,
It's more towards Rapid City.
more towards Rapid City.
Yeah, which is like the very west part of the state where like the Black Hills and Mount Rushmore's close by. over
Oh,
there.
my bad. So then
Mhm.
it's not that one. He got a job at one that's the far east.
Yeah, that would probably be USD. USD's like right near Sioux City.
Okay,
It's
so
in
maybe
Vermilion. Mhm.
maybe it was that. Okay, yeah, Vermilion. That sounds absolutely familiar. Okay, so you were going to school there. What did you go to school for?
I was going to school my first year actually. I was pre-med in human biology.
No way. Okay,
Yep, and then
very
I
interesting.
really decided after my first year that it wasn't
Uh-huh.
for me,
Sure.
and switched over to business administration.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Cool, very cool. So as they were in North Carolina, you've got how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I got 2 sisters and 2 brothers.
2 sisters and 2 brothers. So were any of them out in North Carolina with your mom and dad at that time?
Yeah, my younger brother Chase was out there, and then my
Okay.
younger sister Faith, and my other brother Ryder.
They were out. Okay, so they were out there with them at that time when they started the business in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yep, and they started with our neighbor that lived across the street, who
Oh, yeah?
pharmaceutical sales rep for a long time.
Okay.
Didn't like that industry and wanted to switch to a more cleaner, natural industry when it came to
Okay.
helping people.
Yeah, yeah.
So they collabed with us, and my dad has always been a big business guy, big sales guy.
Right,
So they just joined forces. And then eventually in 2021, they moved out to Nebraska and brought the business out here.
Now, what brought them out to Nebraska from North Carolina?
My dad had another job at the time.
Oh,
He had been
okay.
working for Verizon for over
Right.
a decade.
Oh, that's right. I remember that about him. Yeah.
Yep. So he ended up parting ways with that company.
Yeah.
And there was just really no ties other than
Sure.
our hemp business out there.
Sure.
And he's got his mom out here and his dad. So
Mm-hmm.
it just seemed like a better move. And then I transferred to UNL. So they were like, oh, we should just move back to Nebraska.
Oh, nice. Oh, very cool. Okay, it is something you said is it's really interesting that because you mentioned this to me before. It was really fun. So one time I went into Hunter's shop into Hemp Boss, and he kind of gave me a bare bones education. Bare bones for me because I'm very ignorant. But you were probably like, I told you freaking everything. But it was like it really opened my eyes. It was super, super cool when he took me through the shop and talked about just the process and different things. But so one thing that you mentioned now and then is that Hemp Boss is much more focused on, gosh, I'm going to say it wrong, so just correct me. The natural, the more homeopathic benefits sort of a thing of hemp and whatnot. I'm saying it wrong, but you mentioned something here just a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's our biggest problems that people come into our shop facing are pain relief and sleeping aids. And a lot of people want to stay away from the pharmaceuticals when it comes to that, just because of all the side effects that come with taking those pills and
Sure.
things.
Yeah.
And we've just found through CBD and different hemp cannabinoids that you can have a much cleaner result and sometimes a better result than those pharmaceuticals can provide.
Yeah.
And so that's really always been our main goal, is helping the people of our community find a cleaner and natural way towards better wellness just in general.
Right. So and the reason I point that out is because, not to hate on other people, but that is not necessarily the main force behind most CBD shops right now.
Yep, especially with the introduction with THC products now, hemp derived THC products. When we first started the business, that just wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
We were 100% CBD, and now I'd say we're about 70% THC products
Oh,
and
really?
30%
Okay.
CBD products.
Okay.
So since that, of the hemp derived THC products coming in, you've just seen a lot more people buying the $2 product, selling it for 50 because they just see it as a big cash cow,
Really?
a quick buck
Oh,
for
wow.
them.
Okay.
And kind of straying away from the wellness side of things when
Sure.
it comes to hemp.
Sure.
which
But
we
you,
try
but
to
you
stick to.
guys, right? You guys have really tried to stay true to that, though.
Yep.
The wellness part of it.
Yeah.
That word there. That's probably the best descriptor of your guys' business. And when comparing it to other places, that's what I kind of think of when I think of Hemp Boss.
Yeah, that's really our mission statement, is we want to get you to a better form of wellness through the power of hemp, for sure.
Yeah. So it's okay. So 2019, moved here in 2021. And then did they open up the store here right away?
Yep, opened up the store right away
Okay.
over off we're on 8901 Andermatt on 84th and Highway 2,
Oh yeah, sure.
and we've been there the whole time.
Yeah.
We were originally Trek CBD. That was our first name of the company. And
Oh,
then we
okay.
separated from our business partners and became Hemp Boss.
Oh
at
sure,
end
the
of
ones in
2021.
North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
that would make sense why then. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, so Hemp Boss from Trek CBD. Okay, yeah, totally makes sense. Well, so then so what is your title currently with Hemp Boss?
It's kind of fluid. So
Okay.
I'm more of like, I call myself just like the general manager
Yeah.
of the store,
Okay.
really.
Well, that's what I was thinking too, but I'm like, well, I don't know. I'll say something wrong. So okay.
Yeah, my dad always tells me though to treat it like I am the owner, and
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
try to do that. My mom, she does more of the back end stuff, dealing with vendors, taking orders, all that stuff for our product.
Oh, does she really?
Where I'm more hands on with customers and running the day to day of the store.
Now, do they make trips out here very often at all to check on the store or do things with you?
Not really. I'm
Okay.
in constant communication
Yeah,
with them
right.
on a
So you
daily
don't need to.
basis.
Yeah.
But just with all the kids, my mom just finds it hard to find
Well,
time
sure.
to get out here.
Well, right, because really you've got younger brothers and sisters.
Yeah, they're
Right?
super young. So Ryder is, I guess not so young anymore. Ryder will be turning 10 this month.
Yeah.
My other sister Faith is 13.
Yeah.
And then my brother Chase will be 16 here shortly.
Right. So it's like you can't. Yeah. I mean, it's not a great idea just to leave your 10-year-old at home for an extended period of time when you're gone like that. So no, I get that. That makes total sense. But so yeah, no. So Hemp Boss has been something that's been interesting for me to for me to learn about. But I think Rachel was telling me, even kind of vis-a-vis some of the things that you try to do in terms of advertising and things, that because of the way that our laws are written and things, there's still a ton of regulation, even when it comes to you just getting your name out for Hemp Boss, right?
There is. That's one of the daily struggles I face, especially on social media, advertising side of things.
Yeah.
They don't let us post certain pictures if it has a THC logo on it or something like that.
Really?
And so I can't really do product promotion on social media. It's got to be kind of educational based when it comes to the hemp side of things.
Gotcha.
Or I just can't post pictures of the actual product, but I can talk about them.
You can talk about them. Okay. So do you find that there's certain social media outlets that are easier to work with than others, or no? It's pretty much
Not really, because I find that our main target audience is primarily on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
With the younger audience, which we don't really have a huge market share with the younger crowd.
yeah, right.
But they're mostly on Instagram, so I'm trying to get more into there. Instagram seems to be a tad bit more lenient than Facebook, which
Okay.
is
Which is
odd to
weird
me.
because it's the same owners, right? It's Meta.
It's
or whatever.
Meta, the
yeah,
same
so
thing.
what the heck?
but
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
on Facebook, they're a little bit more strict.
Yeah.
Kind of get away with a little bit more on Instagram.
So my 13-year-old daughter, 13-year-old, she's 15. My bad. I have a 13-year-old daughter. My 15-year-old daughter, she does crochet, And so she loves it, and she makes animals and she doesn't just make little dish rags, she makes all kinds of stuff. And so, anyways, here recently, this past summer, we said that she could get Facebook. And I'm like, hey, look, but these are some of the rules. These are the things that we're just not okay with, and you're not gonna be able to do. Really, as a way for her to advertise like her crochet business and stuff like that. But it truly wasn't that exciting for her because she's like, I'm 15 years old. I mean, none of my friends are on Facebook, and I'm not going to tell any of them either because it's kind of a stain on your reputation if you're not on any other social medias like like Snapchat, Be Real, Instagram.
Definitely.
Then it's like, well, you're on Facebook. What are you, 40?
Yeah, it's definitely seen as like the older social media app. That's
Right.
for sure. Which when I was like 12, I think that's when Facebook really started getting going. And I had a Facebook, and it definitely wasn't like that. Just
Yeah,
10 years ago.
Right,
so.
it's changed. So it was funny because that was it wasn't so like honestly for me and my wife it was kind of a big step to trust her that much, but for her she was just like, this is stupid. I don't.
It's hard though these days because I mean I grew up in the era of social media really blowing up, and so my parents kind of let me have free reign because nobody really knew what was going on.
Oh, for sure.
But nowadays you definitely have to be more careful about
it's different.
letting your kids on social media.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
yeah, I know that's true. So no, sorry. The point of that was I get what you're saying with in terms of Facebook and just kind of your clientele and what they're looking for. More of them is going to be on Facebook because again, it's in the wellness side of things, right? It's not so much on other things. It's more the wellness side. So I could see that more catering to the older demographic.
Definitely. They're the ones with the back pain already. They're the ones with the sleeping issues, not so much the 20-year-olds that have
Now,
these
are
issues.
there okay? It's again, this has got to be frustrating for you guys in this industry because not only are there certain regulations and rules and laws, they're constantly changing, and they're changing on the federal level, changing on the state level, and then there's probably even some rules like locally, like city county type things. So, like what things or what rules do you know of or laws that are kind of looking to be changed right now? Do you know of certain things that are happening?
Yep. So we're constantly battling government at the local level and at the federal level now.
Okay.
For the past year or so, the Nebraska legislature has tried to basically eliminate the hemp industry as a whole.
Okay. Gotcha.
They are doing it on the basis of that we're advertising towards children and kind of going at them because you'll see products that look like Skittles or look like Sour Patch Kids, which are those cheap $2 products.
Right. Yeah.
People sell for about $40.
Sure.
And so we really stick away from that. All of our
Yeah.
products, we have those child lock containers. We always tell people to just keep it away from your kids. And we.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Okay, so I thought a question again, ignorance that I have. So I like a comedian, Tom Segura.
Of course, I love Tom Segura.
Yeah, so he's one of my favorites. He. Oh my gosh, in terms of podcasts, he has like 4 of them.
Yeah, he's got his whole network.
He does one with his wife, does one with what's his face,
Bert
Kreischer. And so he's got all kinds. So, anyways, I was watching a stand-up routine of his, and he was telling the story about one of his friends who's also a comedian. And you've probably seen him, may even know his name, but he's a bigger guy. And he was telling Tom, he was like, hey, I got a gummy for you. And I know how you like your little 10 milligrams, your 10 milligram Tom. Yeah. And that's all they were talking about. And so he gave him, like, Tom knew that this guy was kind of bad news. He's his friend, but he's bad news. He's like, I don't trust this guy. I'm not going to take whatever he gives me. So finally he convinced him to take it, and it was like 1,000 milligrams or something like that.
Joey Diaz, the
Joey Diaz. See, I knew you're not. So one of my favorite parts of his stand-up. But so when people like him talk about the gummies and things like that, that is different or the same as to what you're talking about that you sell in your store with child locks and stuff.
So it's a little bit different. Theirs is cannabis based, which a lot of people have a misconception about cannabis and hemp. They're really the same plant. They're both forms of the plant Cannabis sativa. They just hemp. It has that THC restriction, so it'll be under that 0.3% THC. Where cannabis doesn't have that limit.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's really the only difference between the two plants is
Gotcha.
the THC level inside the plant.
And that's where you start getting into the what's legal and what's not legal in Nebraska,
Yep.
right? Because that stuff that they take is probably legal other places, but in Nebraska, it's not, right?
Yep. So
Okay.
that's really our restriction is we have to stay under
Yeah.
that 0.3% THC level,
Yeah.
which all of our products do, and we have the COAs, the certificate of analysis, to back those, so you can see exactly what's in the product, and
Right.
that doesn't just go to THC level. That goes to pesticides, heavy metals. You can see all
Oh,
of that
nice.
that's in the product, and that's with every product we sell.
I mean, again, I remember you telling me that too. It's just like this is, gosh, it's such a new world. But I mean, even illicit drugs, that people would use, there was still anything, heroin, cocaine, whatever. There was always the potential for it being laced with something really even
Yep.
worse for you, right? And so that's still an issue, right? Even with the products you're talking about that are legal in the state of Nebraska, there can be things in them that maybe they're not. I mean, maybe that's not formaldehyde, but there's things in there that can do some real harm, right?
Yeah, through the manufacturing process, there's a lot of chemicals being used and things of that nature. So it's really important to make sure that your product you're buying has a COA where you can see everything
Right.
that's in it.
Everything that's in it.
And if
yeah.
it doesn't, then do not buy that product.
Because there's a lot of places around town that don't use that, right? They don't
Yeah.
have COAs.
I mean that's one of the big things. They kind of think CBD is snake oil, and a lot of the times it's
Right.
people that have never tried it,
Sure.
or it's people that have bought it from a gas station or a little pop-up shop. And
Right.
gas stations definitely are not going to have the COA. most of the
COA
time.
behind it. Yeah. The equivalent of gas station sushi, right?
Exactly.
Same thing.
Exactly. Same thing.
Same thing. Oh wow. Yeah. So no, I mean again, for people like me, truly that I'm 42 years old. And I am just completely ignorant to everything involved with the hemp industry and cannabis in general. So as it's truly interesting to sit down and talk to people like you that have such an education on it, to be able to speak intelligently about what's out there, what there are things to be aware of, and yeah, just oh gosh, it's just so much. There's just a lot
There
to
is.
be able to know.
There is, and there's so many misconceptions inside our
Yeah.
hemp space with it growing more and more with all these THC products being introduced into hemp. So that's our main battle every day is really educating the customer.
Yeah.
We try to make sure that you walk out a little bit more educated than when you walked in.
Now you work. I mean, you're at the store a lot. What are your store hours?
We're open 10 to 7.
10 to 7.
Besides Saturday, we open 10 to 6, and then we're closed on Sundays.
Closing Sunday, so that's nice. Oh, very cool. But so at one point in time, I'm curious if you still do this. At one point in time, you loved playing golf.
Oh, still love it.
Still do. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you do. But that was something that you, when I first met you, I don't think you really played golf.
No, it started
Really?
when I started working at Firethorn here in town.
Okay.
We had a little employee golf scramble, so I really did not want to look really bad during the scramble.
Yeah, man.
So I started playing just about every day.
Oh my gosh.
And
Wow.
I had free golf at Firethorn, so I was like,
Well,
I'll
right.
take advantage
yeah.
of it.
Why not, man? Totally.
And then since then, I've been on a pretty steady regimen of at least 2 to 3 times a week playing golf.
Where do you usually like to play?
I hop around at all the Lincoln public courses.
Oh,
I'll probably
nice.
get a membership here soon somewhere, but
I was gonna say you can get a membership, can't you, to the city courses where you can do that?
yeah.
Okay.
And since I'm young too, they give you a little bit of a deal as well, which is nice.
Right. Well, yeah, I've got a friend. I think I've told you about him before. I've got a friend that is he works for the university on their golf team,
Yeah.
and he used to work for Ager, and before that, he was a golf pro at another golf course. But I know that that's like a thing right now of just having the younger generation be interested in golf
Definitely.
in general.
Definitely.
Like just a blanket statement, it's been difficult.
And YouTube has really helped out with that. I mean, there's so many YouTube golfers now that have really brought a lot of people into the golf world.
Yeah.
And that's really what's brought me into it too. I mean, I've learned everything I know about golf through YouTube.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah.
that's been a really fun experience. I even started my own YouTube golf channel.
No
So
way,
it's
you
pretty
did really? I didn't even know that. Oh man, okay, I'm gonna go find it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, but we've been a little slacking on the videos lately. I do it with my 2 cousins, and but we've got like 3 videos on our YouTube channel.
Like tips and tricks, or what do you usually talk
just
about?
us playing golf, doing different games, stuff like
Okay,
that.
okay.
Little matches that we do.
So you know Caddyshack, right?
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Yeah. Everybody who's serious about golf knows Caddyshack. But so it's so funny to me. Rodney Dangerfield in that movie, one of the parts where he's golfing at the country club, and I think the waiter comes out to the course and is like, "Hey, do you want anything?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want a party." And then he rips off the thing off his little golf bag, and it's a radio, and they all start dancing and stuff like that. And of course, the judge is there at the country club, and he's just so angry because it's so loud and whatever else. Um, I would say 40%, maybe more, of the golfers out there have little Bluetooth stereos in their carts,
Oh yeah,
and they're
almost
listening to
everybody.
music almost the entire time.
Yeah, it's really just the older gentlemen that don't
Don't
do
like that. Yeah,
But
yeah.
but most people out there got a speaker going
Almost
on
everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I'm here for it. I don't mind whatsoever. But yeah, it's completely interesting how that infusion of youth into golf has changed certain things like that.
Oh, definitely. And I think you see that with like Live Golf. They're more of a party than
Right?
the PGA is. The PGA has always been pretty gentlemanlike and tried to
Totally.
keep that tradition going where you're seeing the younger crowd kind of go to the Live golfers and
Right, right.
they're out there partying, listening to music on the tee box. It's a good
Right.
time out there.
I don't know why. I'm sure if I thought about it more, there'd be easy reasons, but I don't know why. But I don't watch golf hardly at all, but I am totally team live golf. Like the PGA people just drive me crazy. And so
Yeah.
anytime that like Rory McIlroy or anybody else fails at something, I cheer. I love it. So happy.
And now they're supposed to be merging,
Right.
but it's been taking a little while.
Yeah,
So we'll see how that goes.
it is the weirdest thing because I think they announced it, I don't know, a good 9 months ago, maybe more.
Yep.
That they were merging. And so there was this big like, oh, good, we can all calm down now. And then nothing has happened since.
No, the only thing they've changed is that the live golfers can play in all the major championships.
Right.
So
Now, but I think I learned this on Netflix, one of the Netflix specials here recently. I don't think that rings, or at least it wasn't. That's not true for European golfers. They still won't let live golfers play on the European tour.
yeah, the DP World Tour, they still can't play out
Is
there.
that still the thing? Yeah, yeah. Okay, it was at that time, and I thought maybe I misunderstood it too. But yeah, so that was something kind of interesting. And I mean, Rory is European, so
Yeah, it's interesting for sure. The golf landscape has changed dramatically in the past couple
right.
years.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of for me that I hit a ball, and that was the first time I hit a ball here just recently. First time I hit a ball in like 2 years, probably. Just oh my gosh, the time. Anyways, so I just have no dog in the fight when it comes to golf, but from afar, watching kind of the developments and different things going on, it's honestly been it's been kind of fun to watch. It's almost like a drama.
It is. It's a huge drama. They were always denouncing the people that went and got the money from Live Golf,
Right.
and then as soon as the
Now
merger
they're
got
gonna do it.
announced, they flipped that script pretty quick.
Right. Well, because it used to be that like the most drama you had was like Bryson DeChambeau and Koepka going back and forth about it every so often. But then, yeah, that took a back seat. Now it's just all about live and PGA stuff.
Yep, all about that.
So do you play with kind of a group of guys, or do you play by yourself, or what do you usually do when you play?
I normally play with my cousins. I got
cool.
a few like random buddies that I'll play with on occasion.
Yeah.
But I got a cousin named Caleb who I play with. He's my age, and then
Nice.
my other cousin who's 25. I play with him all the time.
So have you ever got to the point, or have you or your cousins got to the point of like, hey, maybe we should do like a competition sometime?
Yeah, we've done a couple golf scrambles
Have
so
you really?
far, which have gone pretty well. We finished in third a couple weeks ago, shot
Nice.
10 under, so that was pretty cool.
Very nice, man.
And then
Cool.
we've improved dramatically. I mean, my first time golfing, I shot an 80 through 9.
Through 9, okay.
Yeah. Some guy at the bar told me I probably shouldn't tell people that.
Right. Yeah, sure. Right.
But then, a few weeks ago, I shot an 82 through 18. So
Oh, nice,
it's been
man.
a huge improvement.
Yeah, right, dude. Oh, totally. Do you have a favorite course of the Lincoln courses?
Definitely. It's not really Lincoln, but it's a little bit outside. Woodland Hills is definitely.
Oh,
my
sure, an
favorite
Eagle.
course.
Yeah, yeah. Gotcha. What's the one? Oh my gosh, I am blanking on it, and I'm gonna tell you it's my favorite course, and I don't know the name of it. In Ashland.
The Ashland Golf Club.
No, it's not that one. It's oh my gosh, it's right off of the interstate. It's right. You go to Sac Air Museum, but then you go the opposite direction. Oh man, people! If anybody watches this, they're going to be yelling the name of it. I cannot remember of it. It is a super nice course, though. It's very like the landscape of it. It's so secluded, and you feel very like you're maybe in Missouri, at some points Colorado. It's very, very different. It's super cool. But yeah, anyways, it's in Ashland. That bugs me that I can't remember the name of it because it's my favorite course. But yeah, so it's a fun course to play.
Yeah, I haven't played many courses outside of Lincoln. I played a course in Colorado not that long ago.
Oh yeah,
and that was really cool. And that had mountains all around.
oh man, yeah, that's fun.
It was super cool. And then played in Mexico as well, which was
No
really
way,
awesome.
you played in Mexico? Oh, that's cool.
Yep, down in Cancun, there were crocodiles everywhere. It was very scary. And
Yeah.
they tell you to stay away from the water, but put the tee box right by the water.
Right,
So
of course. Yeah, makes total sense. Yeah.
I was very scared on that tee box.
I played in the Dominican Republic when we went on vacation there. It was the most picturesque thing because the ocean was right there by the fairway and the tee boxes. It was so cool. It was the funnest thing. Oh my gosh, such nice places. So yeah. Anyways, like I say, I don't play golf very much, but yeah, when I do, there's been a couple of places that I've really enjoyed playing. So
Yeah, I got the bug, that's for sure.
yeah, man. Well, it's a good one to have. Well, hey, look, dude, I think we're starting to run over time now. What time is it? Jeez. So we'll kind of end there, but I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you talking with us a little bit.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Good to get to
this
know
was a
you.
fun
And
time.
very cool to learn more about Hemp Boss. And again, for anybody that wants to know more about it, please look Hunter up at Hemp Boss over there on Andermatt Drive in Lincoln, because he's absolutely very knowledgeable on it. And gosh, you're a busy guy with doing the things that you do with real estate and then Hemp Boss and then also your hobby with golf. So
Yeah.
you're a busy guy with the things that you do. But Hunter's always been good to just do the utmost job. So always very happy with you for everything that you do with us and everything else.
You can find us on Facebook at Hemp Boss, Instagram at Hemp Boss Co.
Oh,
and
cool.
then Hunter
Awesome,
Brady
man.
Realtor on Facebook as well.
Yeah, dude. Well, I know you've got a couple of listings coming up and whatnot as well, so you're
Yeah.
going to be increasingly busy, which always happy to hear about. But that will do it for us today. Conversations here with Broker Brad. Tune in next time, whenever that time happens to be. We'll keep getting to know people, keep having some good conversations. So thanks for being on, dude.
Of course, thank you.
We're the kings of real estate. We control the fame.